welcome to the Kelly Roach Show, a place for no fluff, easy to implement, 20-minute or less business and leadership lessons to help you build a sustainable business that scales. Let's get started. Welcome back. I'm so excited to dive in today to what makes a high-performing environment and a high-performing setup for employee success. Whether your dream is to build an empire of one or an empire of 100, these timeless principles are going to apply to you creating entrepreneurs in your company that are going to be able to help you link arms to make your dreams come true. So I'm going to give you the 6 steps today to helping an employee to meet their potential inside your organization and to help them to thrive, grow, and make their dreams come true in the process of helping you achieve yours. And I want to start there because when I look at my employees that have been with me for the long haul, people like Nicole, who's been with me 9 years, and Kyrie, who's been with me almost 5, and Danielle, and the others that have grown with me over time, they have accomplished their mission, vision, and personal goals and are continuing to make their dreams come true as I achieve mine. And so the first thing that you want to think about is if you want really high performing people to come to your organization and to stay, you need to find a way to help them to clarify their goals and also have a roadmap to achieve them inside of your organization. And what we always say is, their dream has to be able to fit inside of yours so that your dream is big enough that they can accomplish all the things that matter most to them in the process of growing their career with you. So let's talk about the steps that you want to take to help an employee to have a high performance impact on your organization as quickly as possible. First things first, just like when onboarding a new client, those first 30 days are completely make or break to the client's investment and experience and satisfaction in your product, program, or service. The same thing goes with an employee, but it's even more crucial because your readiness for that new employee is completely make or break to their experience with your organization. If you don't set the right pace and have dedicated time for their training, their coaching, and leading them through those first 30 days, they're going to get a complete misrepresentation of the company. They're not going to understand the pace. They're not going to understand the culture, and it's going to get things off on the wrong foot. Also, that first impression matters. You want them to look up to you. You want them to aspire to be mentored by you. You want them to want to build a career with you, which means that the right dynamics need to be put in place in terms of how you position yourself with them from the start. Okay, so let's talk about these first 6 steps. The first thing is you clearing your calendar and making sure that when you have a new employee starting, that they are your priority for those first 30 days. Your ability to invest in them is going to make or break their experience and the time that it takes for them to get productive in the organization. So the first step is training. Training is where you review the systematic, step-by-step processes, procedures, and systems that are going to be essential to their role. Training is where you provide them with feedback, direction, and clarity around the things that they're going to be doing in their job that are already set in place, set in motion, and working in your organization. There's going to be people that you hire that are going to create new systems and processes. So there's going to be things that already are set in place that you want to train them on doing in a specific way and giving step-by-step policies, procedures, SOPs, etc. around. Then there's the things obviously that you're hiring them to input and instill, in which you're going to explain that, 2 very different things. But component number 1 is training. And what I find is the vast majority of hiring managers do not properly prepare for someone that's starting in their organization. They're disorganized. They're frantic. They don't have enough time set aside for training. They don't have step-by-step SOPs and folders prepared and a binder ready so that this person is truly set up for success to absorb these things as quickly as possible. A very large portion of what's going to make or break someone's ability to come in and be successful in your organization is your preparation. Number 2 is coaching. And I do want to say these are not necessarily in specific order. Okay. So I'm going to explain the relationship between these things as we go. Coaching is where you take something that someone has already been trained on, something that they've already been empowered to do, and you assess it. So this would be auditing phone calls. This would be them BCCing you on emails that they're sending. This would be them sending you their work product and you actually coaching them, providing feedback. This is what is working. This is what isn't working. This is how we can dive into this together in order to up-level the impact of the work that you're doing. So coaching is that process of actually observing and giving feedback and giving instruction based on the work product that they're producing. I find many managers never look at the work product of their team. They never assess the call recordings. They never put their eyes on the messages being sent or the work product being created. And therefore, they have no way to appropriately coach someone on the impact of the work that they're doing. And that goes hand in hand with the teaching. Teaching, I believe, as a leader is by far and away the most important part if you want to create entrepreneurs in your company. Because teaching is where you really take the time to slow down and instill the mission and the vision and the values and the why and, really go deep into not just what you want to accomplish, but what's behind it, all the things that are driving the success of the organization, the philosophy, the values, not just what you do, but why you do it, and the meaning behind the how that you do things. And I think teaching is by far and away the most important part of this, because you can train someone on how to do something, but if they don't understand why to do it in that way, they're not going to have investment in actually completing it in that way. And there's no reason for them to, because they don't understand the meaning or the value of it. Coaching is time wasted if you are not actually spending the time to do the training and the teaching. So the training is the how. It's the what and the how, right? The teaching is the why behind it. It's really going deep into building a relationship, creating trust, and really explaining the mindset, the methodology behind the mechanics. And so I kind of look at these three things as a trifecta when you look at helping someone to become a high performer in your organization, because they need all three. They need the what, they need the why, they need the how, and they also need feedback. And one of the things that is going to retain top performers in your organization is when you give them consistent feedback, right? They want to grow, they want to learn, they want to get better. Okay, so those three things really go hand in hand to help someone to grow in your organization. Now, again, if you want someone to be an entrepreneur, which I get this question all the time, like, how do I get someone to become an entrepreneur in my company? You need to give them the what, the how, the why, and couple that with the freedom to expand and improve upon it and test new things and try different approaches and build on top of that. And that's about really giving people the certainty and the confidence and the trust that they're allowed to make mistakes, they're allowed to try new things, they're allowed to expand the approach into different directions, and that you are going to support them in doing that in pursuit of continuing to grow and to learn. Okay? The next key thing is mentorship. Mentorship is where you really invest in becoming, I like to say, one of the top 3 most important influences in someone's life. Mentorship is when you go far beyond the span of being someone's manager or being someone's employer, but really becoming the person that this person trusts to be an advocate for their career and for their life, to move forward in the direction of their dreams and to do things that are in their best interest, whether or not it benefits you. True mentorship is going to create a deep and lasting loyalty and investment between you and this person. In most instances, not always. I've had people that I've gone very deep down the path of mentorship with that it did not result in that loyalty or trust. But for the most part, 85% of the time, When you make that investment in people, they are going to, create that loyalty and trust with you in return. So mentorship is really about relationship. It's about really going deep beyond the structure of just the what, the how, and the why. Mentorship is really about you growing this person. It's really about you developing and investing in their livelihood, their growth, their dreams, their goals, and how you can support them in becoming that next version of themselves. And bonus points, obviously, if you can do that within the infrastructure of this vehicle that you've built with your business. The last two are structure and accountability. And this, again, comes back to the personal growth and personal development of the leader or manager. I see so many times that leaders and managers and CEOs, they struggle with their teams being accountable. They struggle with their teams following a structure. And this is a byproduct of a manager or a leader that is not following structure, that is not holding people to a structure and creating accountability. If you're a leader or manager that constantly rolls out expectations but never follows up, or sets out a protocol that you want done in a certain way, but then there's no follow through on that, and there's no structure by which you're evaluating it, following up on it, and making sure that it's being sustained in place, then it's not going to be seen as important by your team. Your team is going to perceive what is important based on the amount of time and energy that you put into the focus, the follow-up, and the follow-through on that particular thing. So I really want to encourage you to understand how important your role is in creating an environment that is going to yield high performance and that is going to bring out the best in the people that you hire. Now, structured accountability with a very high bar is going to get your unicorns to soar, and it's going to get your, non-performers out quicker than you could blink an eye. You won't even have to terminate people. They are going to leave of their own accord because there's nothing that underperformers hate more than structure and accountability. And so you're going to see that the wrong people are going to turn over quick. The right people are absolutely going to thrive. People that are high performers are not intimidated or scared of metrics or accountability or structure because they're setting a higher goal for themselves than the goal you're setting for them anyway. And those are the people you want to go to war with. Those are the people you want to go to battle with. The people that, yes, they want to meet the goal that you set for them, but they have an even higher standard that they're setting for themselves. So accountability is really crucial because it's how your team knows what is important. The thing that you follow up on consistently and that you create structure around is what they are going to assess as being the most important thing. So you need to make sure that if something's really important to you, that you hold the bar high, that you're extremely consistent in your follow-up and follow-through on it, and that they are held accountable for delivering on a small handful of things over and over again versus a large variety of things inconsistently. The performance of our teams often comes back to the performance of our leaders, whether that leader is you or whether you actually have department managers. They say that people leave their manager, they don't leave the company. And so you really want to be careful about the people that you have managing teams. And you want to look at your own self as well if you're the person that people are reporting into. You also want to make sure that people have a reasonable scope of about 5 people reporting to them at any given time, and then break down departments and responsibilities from there so that they have enough time and energy to dedicate to the performance of their people. But what I would challenge you to do today, if you haven't already, go grab a copy of Bigger Than You, The Entrepreneur's Guide to Building an Unstoppable Dream Team. Here's a copy in my hand for anybody that's watching the video right now. But you can go on Amazon now and grab a copy, The Entrepreneur's Guide to Building an Unstoppable Dream Team. The book is called Bigger Than You. It's written by me, and it is going to walk you through structure, strategy, and mindset to build a high performance, high profit team that's going to allow you to achieve your dream. So if you haven't already, go grab a copy of the book now. Again, those 6 core things are training, teaching, coaching, mentorship, structure, and accountability. And these are the keys to building a high performance entrepreneur team in your company. Get out there and make your dreams come true.